Assalamu alaikum, this is Clifton Raheem Bradley. This is Islamic content designed for Muslims and non-Muslims, for Muslims that are going through Ramadan, it's after Ramadan and you're going through the Umrah, peace be upon you. And this is to learn about Islam. There's no reason to be xenophobic or hateful of Islam. It's a religion of peace, okay? And you might investigate Islam. And I hope that if you get something out of this video, give me some feedback.
The U.S. Constitution states that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. As I enshrined in the First Amendment, religious freedom includes two complementary protections: the right to religious belief and expression, and a guarantee that the government neither prefers religion over non-religion, nor favors particular faiths over others. These dual protections work hand in hand, allowing religious liberty to thrive and safeguarding both religion and government from the undue influences of the other. From our foundational work on behalf of conscientious objectors to our historic defense of John T. Scopes during the infamous Scopes monkey trial of 1925, the ACLU has been the national leader in the struggle for religious freedom. Building on that near century of work, the ACLU employs an integrated strategy of litigation, public education, and advocacy to protect religious liberty. My name is Ali Ansari, and this is my story, and I need your help.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. This good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon. You know, you're looking at the Underground Railroad television show, and this is a podcast. I usually don't do this late at night, and you're looking at something, and I want to have my guest, Brother Ali, talk about something that's very sensitive. It's very sensitive to different religious denominations. We have something that is called religious rights in the workplace. And when that is under threat, whether you're a Christian, you're Jewish, you're Muslim, you a Shiite, you know what? That is under threat. That's a threat to everyone of not being able to have the ability to practice your religion, because there's supposed to be a separation between church and state. And I have Brother Ali on that has been oppressed, and he has a story that he wants to tell, and I'm going to interject, and I'm going to ask him to make an introduction. He goes to Masjid Al Farouk in Chicago at 89, I think 100 South Stony Island. Okay, and I'm going to let him introduce himself, and please introduce yourself and tell us something about yourself, my brother. Assalamu alaikum.
My name is Ali Ansari. A lot of people will probably know me by the name of Ali Freeman before Allah SWT bless us to legally be able to change our name to Ali Ansari. But my issue is, before God blessed my heart to be turned to the love of Islam, I used to do a lot of wrong. I used to commit crimes, and I was blessed to realize that I was doing wrong.
Yes.
And I was violating and infringing upon the rights of other people.
Yes.
On the wrong that I was beginning to enjoy loving doing. And regardless of how much I love doing it, I should never love to do something so much and so bad where it violates the rights of others. Because that is not a behavior or a conduct and character that is pleasing to Almighty God. And Islam forbids that.
Yes.
But nevertheless, I've been incarcerated twice in my life. I've been incarcerated at the age of 9. I was locked up in an adult facility in Atlanta, Georgia. It was Jefferson County Jail off of Bankhead Highway.
Mm-hmm.
I was locked up in an adult facility for, yes, sir.
I'm listening. Yes, sir. I'm listening to you.
I was locked up in an adult facility for a little over 6 months, charged with assault and battery with intent to kill because 2 adults thought they had the right to disrespect my mother. Yes. And it's not that kind of program, regardless. I'm saying no one should ever feel that they have the right to disrespect no woman, whether she's a wife, a mother, a sister, aunt, daughter. But we had these types of crimes going on all day, every day.
Yes.
Because we have allowed Shaitan to deceive us into thinking that this is how life goes.
Yes.
But nevertheless, they locked me up for a little over 6 months, charged me with assault and battery with intent to kill. And the second time I was locked up is when I had just turned 23, and I was locked up they gave me 18 years for armed robbery. Mm-hmm. Because yes. I felt that I had the right to do what I did. I'm saying, and no one ever has the right to violate the rights of others.
Well, was you at Statesville or Cook County Jail? Or?
No, I was. My time was served in South Carolina at CCI. CCI is one of the worst maximum security prisons in the country. CCI, Pelican Bay.
It's New York, right? Okay.
No, it's Atlanta.
Okay.
Pelican Bay. It's about 5 prisons that are the worst in this country, and CCI is one of them.
Yes.
But nevertheless, I served my time. I went in 1983, got out in 1994.
Yes.
I haven't had no run-ins with law enforcement other than a wreck or 2 here, a car accident here, and that's it. I'm saying, and I can't thank Almighty God enough for allowing it to not to go and exceed no further than that, because I have a great deal of mistrust for law enforcement. I'm saying I can't speak for everybody.
Yes.
Experience, but personally myself, and from the knowledge that God has blessed me to have, I have a deal of mistrust.
Yes.
I can't trust them. I know that they would execute and murder us and plant weapons and cover each other up in behalf of the wrong that they do. Mm-hmm. And allow it to be acceptable.
Mm-hmm. But there are some good ones. Very few. There are some good ones, though.
Yeah, I will acknowledge there are. Okay. And I will acknowledge this on their behalf.
Yes.
They're only good as long as the bad ones allow them to remain.
Yes.
Because once the bad ones find out that they know some dirt about them, mm-hmm. they're gonna get rid of them like they get rid of us.
Yes, sir. So
it's just how they operate.
Okay. So what once you was in prison and you take us on this journey. Imagine you started a job and then what happened? What is your plight? What is your plight? What are you going through right now?
When I got out of prison, it was difficult for me to get a job. It was difficult for me to get a job because on the applications during that time in 1994, you had to acknowledge the fact that you were incarcerated.
Yes. Yes.
If you fill out the application, you got one or two choices: either tell the truth or to lie. And when you get the job, they're gonna come around and fire you anyway.
Yes, sir.
They're gonna come around and fire you anyway because they're gonna say you lied on the application. It said, "Have you been convicted?" You said no, and you have. I said, and even though they know they got it on there for the purpose of keeping African American people and people of color unemployed. I'm saying that's the purpose of being. But nevertheless, I was basically struggling and struggling to this day. And I don't have no problem with struggling because struggle is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Because when you struggle, you are being blessed by the grace and mercy of Allah to appreciate the efforts and the energy.
Hold on, excuse me for 1 second. Rashallah, I don't know what that means, but thank you, brother. Thank you for watching. Okay.
But mashallah?
Yes.
Mashallah is the Arabic language for praise. Thank you.
Thank you.
Inshallah, to be Allah's will. Mashallah.
Yeah, individual left a message in the chat room, and I'm very appreciative of that individual listening. But go ahead, brother.
During the course of my trying to find employment, since all of that was basically a waste of time, I started out picking up cans, going around getting permission from people, property, to pick up the trash off the property, to clean the property, to cut grass, do any type of artwork that God bless me to have knowledge of to be able to do. But nevertheless, I was being forcefully manipulated to return back to a life of crime. And by me rejecting that refusal, I eventually became homeless.
Oh, wow.
And in the course of me being homeless, I made a promise to myself I'd stay homeless before I go back and start up living a life of crime. And hurting others and violating the rights of others. And I remained that way. I remained that way until my parents got tired of hearing people calling up to Chicago, letting them know about my situation and what I was dealing with, till they eventually came down to Atlanta. And insisted that I come back with them to Chicago. They insisted, and it wasn't going to take no for an answer. And I accepted that. And I came back to Chicago, but it wasn't until after I had got assaulted in a building by 5 law enforcement officers because I was using the bathroom. One in the building called the police, and the police came and kicked in the door while I was in the bathroom feeding the fish, and they kicked in the door and pulled me out the pool. And it was a thing to whereas I felt so hurt behind it. I felt so hurt behind it to hatred was trying to grow and root itself in me against white supremacy to such a degree to whereas at one time I almost felt myself being like them. And
we don't want to talk about the white supremacy, because that caused a problem with you two, white supremacy. We don't. Go ahead, brother. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
But nevertheless, to this day.
Yes.
I'm still being constantly and continuously violated.
Yes.
Having my human rights, my civil rights, and my political rights violated. And this is not a situation where I'm just dealing with a racist system. I'm dealing with a racist system, but it involves Muslims and non-Muslims.
Oh,
My
wow.
fight this time is against Muslims and non-Muslims,
Yes.
and Muslims should know better.
Yes.
They really should.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, the situation that we're basically dealing with
Yes.
is that the state of Illinois
Yes.
intentionally embezzled over $5,000 of back court order child support payments. This is indisputable proof that God has blessed me to have. And I put the challenge out there for anybody to dispute this, and haven't had no one to accept the challenge yet.
Yes.
Whether it be from the governor's office or the mayor's office.
Yes.
No one has stepped up to accept the challenge.
You in Chicago, Illinois, in the United States,
Chicago,
right?
Illinois.
Okay.
And this is a situation that it's not nothing new to them. I'm saying, because they have been keeping it covered and keeping a lid on it since 2017.
Okay.
They have literally embezzled over $5,000, and then on top of that, they turn around and unjustly suspend my driver's license and deny me a right to make a living, an honest living for my household, due to their embezzlement and their thievery and larceny.
I got to ask you something. Can we move forward a little? I'd like to know, how was your religious rights violated, and what was the retaliation for that, and what was your response, and what did you do? And does everybody have religious rights to practice the way they want to in the United States? I would like you to trust it.
People are only permitted to practice according to the way America will allow them to practice.
Yes.
My beliefs, and even though they are aware of this being the truth, Islam being the latter day, it's being the truth.
Yes.
Because the Harvard
I'm listening to you.
Harvard University acknowledged the fact. It was a vote between three sayings.
Yes.
They wanted to choose the best three sayings that identify the highest level of and degree of true justice.
Okay.
They had to choose between the St. Augustine and the Magna Carta and the Holy Quran.
Yes.
And thanks to the grace and mercy of Allah, the Holy Quran, without a doubt,
yes,
became number one.
Yes.
And they took the surah and embedded it in the concrete.
What is a surah? Somebody doesn't know what a surah is.
The surah is the Arabic word for chapter, which is the English.
Okay.
Ayat is the Arabic word, which would be for verse.
Yes.
In English. So the surah is Surah An-Nisa, which is the women.
Yes.
The women. And it says, "O ye who stand out firmly for justice as witnesses to Allah."
Okay.
As against yourselves, or your parents, or your kin, and whether it be against rich or poor.
Yes.
For Allah can best protect both.
Yes.
And this surah, along with Another surah, Surah 5, Ayat 9.
Okay.
O ye who believe,
Yes.
stand up firmly for Allah as witnesses to fair dealing,
Okay.
and let not the hatred of others to you make you swerve to wrong and depart from justice.
Yes.
Be just. That is next to piety.
Okay.
And fear Allah, for Allah is well acquainted
Okay.
with all that ye do.
So I got to ask you, brother, now, on your job, what type of injustice happened to you? And you know what type of injustice can happen to a Muslim, a Christian, other people and other people? What happened to you? What happened to you? I'm talking about in terms of being denied your religious rights. And who did you try to get help from?
On the job, out in Joliet, at Trader Joe's, they was always constantly removing machinery that was signed off in my name.
Yes.
Machinery.
Yes.
They have a policy
Yes.
at Trader Joe's. If machinery is in your name,
yes,
it's signed out to you, and someone else besides you is caught riding on it, you automatically lose your job. This is one of Trader Joe's policies. Okay. I could not allow that to affect me, because when time comes for me to say prayer, I'm going to say prayer.
Okay.
If God bless me to work anywhere, this was one of the number one stipulations. I let people know I don't have to have a break. And if a break has to be, if a break has to be taken, then let my break be when time comes for prayer to come in, so I say my prayers. I don't have to have anything to eat. I want to say my prayers. If I can't say my prayers, this ain't no job for me.
Yes, yes.
And this is the bottom line anywhere I went. And they accepted that. And yes. I said prayers. But when I say my prayers, they steal the machinery. And even though I put a note on it, and as polite as possible, I say, this machinery is checked out in the name of Ali Ansari. I appreciate it if you do not violate me by stealing machinery that is not in your name.
What's the name of the company?
The company is Trader Joe's.
In Chicago, right?
Okay. In Joliet.
Okay.
The one in Joliet, in Minooka, Illinois.
So this company would not allow you during your break time to make your prayer, to make salats. They would not.
They allowed me. They allowed me because they knew that wasn't no option. Period. From day one.
Okay.
They allowed me, but they also allowed the employees.
Yes.
To remove the equipment.
Yes.
While I'm in the prayer.
Okay.
They allowed the employees, and even though I reported it, it was nothing ever done about it. I'm saying, because it was Caucasian people who were doing the moving.
Yes.
I'm saying, as bad as it may sound, it's still the truth.
Yeah.
They take the machine, they drive it out there somewhere inside the warehouse, and they get off and leave it. So, go ahead.
So would you say that this was this? You said they would let you pray, they would let you make your salats, but you saying they retaliated? Are you saying that they retaliated by taking your equipment? If I'm misunderstanding you, please let me know.
Without a doubt. That was their way. That was their way of calling themselves trying to disrupt my state of tranquility, my state of peace.
Yeah.
That was their way of trying to agitate and aggravate me, and with hopes of trying to bring out the worst in me. Wow. And to a degree, it almost worked. Mm-hmm. To a degree, it almost worked. and I almost felt for it, because one of the employees for another company that was also stationed out there, they was they was in, in charge of the Caterpillar.
Okay.
The company called, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's called the Caterpillar. They were in charge of the machinery as far as repairing it, fixing it, or replacing it, and stuff of that nature, but of another company. And they had a policy, Trader Joe had a policy that we are not supposed to associate with them, period. We ain't supposed to have no conversation or no communication with them, period.
Yes.
And I accepted that. I'm saying, because I wasn't out there to be doing no talking and no chit chat anyway. I was out there to work. I'm saying, but nevertheless, it's all good. But one of them took it upon themselves to approach me and get up in my face.
Yes.
Then he was so close to my face, had he stuck his tongue out of his mouth, he'd probably touched the tip of my nose. And I'm just sitting on, I'm sitting on the forklift, and I'm accepting this, and I'm letting him speak his mind, because his frustration towards me was based on me using a milk crate on the back of my forklift. I came up with an idea. By the grace and mercy of Almighty God, He blessed me to come up with an idea to make the work easier, which was, I had a bunch of cord that I brought from my home, and I hooked a milk crate up on the back of my forklift. And I hooked it up to such a degree to whereas, regardless to the motion and the movement, it wouldn't fall off. It would only come off when it is took off.
Okay. Excuse me for 1 second. You know what? For people that are looking on YouTube or see this later on, this gentleman needs help, and he's explaining. He is explaining that his rights were taken away from him to worship. They let him worship and pray and make the lots of prayers, but they retaliated. They retaliated. And we're gonna try to find out how they retaliated, and believes that anyone that has a religious right, you have a religious right to practice your religion. But he understood that you do have to follow the rules of the job. So we're not taking any telephone calls because I don't have another telephone line. But explain the retaliation. Some of the things, how did they retaliate against you? Even though they did let you pray. They gave you what you wanted, but they attacked you. But explain some of the things they did to you.